Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about adding and subtracting using scientific notation. So your topic is adding and subtracting in scientific notation, and the date is October 9th. So we're first going to talk about adding. So this example here says find 3x times 10 to the 4th plus 5 times 10 to the 4th. So there are two different methods we're going to use. Our first method, we can write these out in expanded form. So we know that 3 times 10 to the 4th, we're just going to move the decimal point over 4 times. So we all have to remember that our decimal point is right here after the 3, and we're going to move it 4 times. So that's where the 30,000 came from. 5 times 10 to the 4th, we're doing the same thing. So our decimal point's here, and we're moving it over 4 spaces. And now all we have to do is add them. So we do 5, 0 plus 0, they're all going to be zeros, and then 3 plus 5 gives us 8. And then we're going to have to put it back in scientific notation. So remember our decimal point's here. We're going to count how many spaces we're moving over. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is going to be 8 times 10 to the 4th power. So that's the first method you could use. The second method you could use is this method. So as you can notice up here, both our bases have the same exponent. So 10 to the 4th power and 10 to the 4th power. So in this case, this is a special case, you can just add these two numbers in front. So you'll be adding these two numbers. And then you're going to do 10 to the 4th power. So you keep the 10 to the 4th power. So our answer is going to be 8 times 10 to the 4th power. Okay, so this example says 4 times 10 to the 5th power plus 5 times 10 to the 6th power. You guys will notice that these two bases do not have the same exponents. So we're going to start with method 1 the same way we did in the last slide. So we're going to say, we're going to expand out 4 times 10 to the 5th into standard notation. So remember our decimal point is right here, and we're just going to move it over 5 spaces. So that's where 400,000 came from. And we're going to do the same thing with the second one. So this is 6, so we're going to move our decimal point over 6 places. So we now have, and then we add. So we have to make sure that we align our numbers correctly, because if you have the 4 over here, then you're going to add wrong, and your answer is going to be wrong. So make sure you line everything up. So we have all the 0 plus 0s are going to be 0, 4 plus 0 is 4, and then 5 plus 0 is going to be 5. And then we're going to put this back into scientific notation. So our decimal point is over here. We're going to move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. Because remember, we need our number to be between 1 and 10. So 5.4 is a number that's between 1 and 10. So our answer is going to be 5.4 times 10 to the 6th power. Now method 2 will not work in this case. So think about why. Okay, so this will not work because as you can see in this example, the place values do not line up. So let's do it out. What is 4 plus 5? We know 4 plus 5 equals 9. And if we look at the exponents, 5 and 6 are not the same number. So if you look at this, 4 plus 5 equals 9, that doesn't work because those are not the same. And if we were looking at it, we wouldn't know which exponent we should be taking. So that's why method 2 will not work. So take a few minutes and try these on your own.
Okay, so now we're building off of what we just did with adding scientific notation. We're going to use some of the similar methods. So to subtract with scientific notation, method 1 for this problem, we can, like we did with addition, just write out the number in expanded form. So 8 to the power times 10 to the power of 5. We just start, we move over 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get our 800,000. Same with 6 times 10 to the power of 5. My decimal would go here, so move over 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that I have my numbers written in expanded form, I can just subtract them. Okay, and it's really important that we line these up. So 800,000 minus 600,000 is going to give me 200,000. My last step is I want to change this back into scientific notation. So again, I would count over how many spaces in each to move my decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to write this as 2 times 10 to the power of 5. Okay, so that's method 1. We can write it out, subtract, turn it back to scientific notation. Method 2, since these have the same base, the same exponent, I can take a shortcut and I can say 8 minus 6 and keep this base. Okay, so 8 minus 6 is going to give me 2 and keep my base of 10 to the power of 5. So my answer would be 2 times 10 to the power of 5. Remember, if you guys are feeling lost, you can pause, rewind, and get all of these notes down. So example 2. This example is a little bit different because my exponents are different in this case. So I need to pay very close attention. So I'm going to turn my scientific notation into expanded form. So I'm going to write it out all of the way. So 7 times 10 to the power of 6. And move over 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 4 times 10 to the power of 5. So start off at 4 and move over 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just going to subtract them, like we did in the last problem. But it's so important that we line up these numbers correctly, or else we're not going to get the correct answer. Okay, so I line up these numbers, and then I just subtract. So you guys can do this on your own paper. So as an answer, we get 6,600,000. And now I need to turn that back into scientific notation. So I would say, how many spaces do I need to move my decimal to get this number between 1 and 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my answer is going to be 6.6 times 10 to the power of 6. Again, since these have different exponents, I can't use method number 2 like we did last time. So this is the